Well, to make things a little bit more complex, these problems are frequently interrelated in a variety of different complex ways. For example, land access, water access, insurance, processing and distribution all depend on inclusive and clear ordinances as well as zoning codes. Another example is that a lot of the planners were talking about the need for USDA GAP certification in order to distribute food through the large distributors. However, the big food companies have a near monopoly on food distribution to grocery stores. So local food producers aren't really motivated to get GAP certification. This lack of GAP certification, in turn, endangers our food system because the GAP certification is one of the main ways in which the USDA ensures that our food is safe. In the interviews, we also asked about what the planners and local practitioners saw as opportunities for local food production. By far, the largest opportunity that the people that we interviewed saw was the fact that there's a lot of land that isn't currently being used. For example, studies have been done that show that between 70 and 80,000, there's between 70 and 80,000 vacant lots in Chicago alone. And there's many more thousand unused buildings. A lot of these lots and unused buildings are located within the food deserts, although that term is not always liked by everyone. So if we could turn this land into local food production sites, many of these food deserts might be shrunk or perhaps even eliminated altogether. Similarly, retrofitting old buildings for year-round production and or closed system food production was also frequently mentioned. For example, this local factory in Racine was retrofitted into a year-round production and closed system production of tilapia and lettuce. This brings up the next most commonly mentioned opportunity: vegetable, fruit, fish, and other specialty producers. Most of the current agriculture in this region is focused on commodities like corn and soybeans. This means that there's a real opportunity for these specialty and niche producers to really get a hold of the local market. And all of this will lead to economic development in the region. Another opportunity that a lot of the practitioners saw is that they, as they're the pioneers, they really saw an opportunity to help educate the public and youth about food, health, and food production. Many of them already had educational programs that they wanted to expand. Many of the other ones were wanting to start up educational programs to include the community youth in the production over the next 5 years. One interesting finding that we found was that many of the planners mentioned that there was a lack or no research done on local food production. As serious local food production is a relatively new movement, there is some concern. However, there has been some significant research done recently about local food production. For example, Ben and Boyku did a study on community gardens in the Bronx. And they found that property values and rents within 1,000 feet of the community garden were increasing above what they would have otherwise because of the presence of the community garden. In addition, there's been a lot of studies done on the perceptions of communities. And once community gardens put in there, the residents of there start to see it as a safer, more pleasant, and better place to live. In addition, significant research has been done addressing concerns about pollution contaminating the food produced in an urban environment. For example, people have had urban gardens for generations. And there's a solid amount of research on the safety of that sort of locally produced food. That's why you'll hear recommendations about the amount of walleye that you should be eating out of Lake Michigan, but you don't hear recommendations about the amount of, or limits on the amount of tomatoes that you should be eating from your backyard.